I'm going to start by doing HTML tags again. So we've got the HTML tag at the top, we've got the head, we've got a title, and I'm going to call it changing. So you've got the changing array value at the top as a header. I'm going to start the body, start a PHP tag, and I'm going to make a comment. So it creates an array containing 3 strings, red, green and blue, and I'm going to call it with a semicolon at the end here. So that's one array called ARR, and we're going to echo the content of that array. First of all, so first element is 0, element 0, and then I'm going to print out the second element and then the third element. And last but not least, I forgot to put concatenation here instead of the commas, so it's concatenated together. And last but not least, we're going to make a HR. Remember what HR stands for? It's a separating line, so it's just drawing a line in HTML, and we've seen that in a previous lesson. I'm going to make another comment. So what we're going to do, we're going to assign, instead of it saying green, red, green, blue, we're going to make it assign numerical values instead. For the first element in the array, element 0, which is the first element, we're going to put 44. The second element, which is element 1, we're going to assign it 12.5, so it's a float number. And then last but not least, we're going to do something interesting for the last element, element 2. We're going to add element 1 plus element 2, which is element 0. So it's as you already know, the start of the array starts with 0, so position 0, and that the additions of those two values would be inserted into the final element. So obviously that would produce, from an integer and a float added together, it will produce another float because it has this 0.5 to it. So it's going to be a float number, and it's going to be placed inside the final element, which is element 3. Instead of blue, it would say 56.5 it would have. Okay, and finally we close it off with a semicolon here, and then we're going to echo the elements again. So let's just copy this. We'll copy that line, make it a lot easier, and we paste it here. Control V, paste, and we'll close off. Now we're just going to close off the the HTML tags, so body, and then finally HTML. And that's lesson 16. So we're going to save it and run it and see what happens. Save as lesson 16.php. So we're just going to transfer it across to the server inside the folder PHP lessons, and we see it running inside here. So we set up, say, in lesson 15, we're going to change that into lesson 16. Press enter, and it tells us red, green, blue, and it says 44, 12.5, and then 56.5, but it's all stuck together. So we're going to correct that, and while we're at it, we'll correct the capitalization of the R. So we go back here, and you remember how we edit files inside Qtftp. We simply click on the right button on the mouse, and then you click on edit, and it would load it inside Qtftp's editor. And here we can see the R is not capital, so we're going to change that to capital R. Green is fine, blue is fine. The numbers, okay, so the numbers are not spaced out. So how do we space out the numbers? Where is the plus? And here we go. The way we're going to do it is we go into, so we just printed it off like that. We're just going to space it out here, put a space like that, and instead of concatenating, we'll say equals to, and That's it. So basically we'll remove that and we'll do that. So now basically it's just a string, so it will just print array 0, array 1, and it'll be formatted that way. And if we, yeah, why not, we add an HR somewhere here as well, HR, do another underline. And if I save that, file, save, so we see it, yep, it's done. And now if I refresh, there we go. So 44 plus 12.5 equals 56.5. So it printed it nice and neat, and it's done that separation line in between the two as well.